Today, as I make commentary from Neville Goddard's 1968 lecture, Live the Answer Now, we will be enjoying a popular Japanese family restaurant. This branch is in the countryside near Mount Fuji. Its name is Coco's Family Restaurant. I will be having an overflowing seafood rice gratin. So when Neville teaches you that imagining creates reality, after you know what you want, all that's left to do is to occupy a state. Here's how Neville says to occupy a state. By asking yourself how you would feel, what you would see, hear, touch, taste, and smell if your dream were real. Take time to set the stage, being the star of your production. Place yourself center stage, then allow a friend to enter and see you in your new state. Write the script, the words he would say, then he sees you. Feel his touch. And this is how Neville teaches you to clothe yourself with the reality of the state. And since Neville is teaching you that everything comes from within you, you need no one's permission. So you do this until you feel the tones of reality, just like when you lose yourself in a daydream. And if you continue to hunger, then you repeat this act each day, then let these feelings go towards their fulfillment. In this lecture, Neville also shares an experience when a friend of his brought some missionaries from the Mormon church to his house to try to convert him. Neville let them in, but they never let him express one word of his own opinions on anything. So as Neville usually did at the night, reviewing his day, he started to wonder about these people. How could they be so devoted to what he considered baloney? And he took this thought into sleep, and he had a dream that reflected this experience. He saw a girl screaming in a dream. And as he took pity on the girl, the scream became within Neville. And what this experience taught Neville, and will also teach you, is to become discriminating of what you contemplate, because you become the thing you behold. So if you hear any bad news, whether it's a friend or on the news, be careful of entering the state of sympathy, because not only may you perpetuate that for the one you are sympathizing for, but you might bring that sympathized state into your own experience. And the greatest lesson of it all that Neville learned, no one is exempt from falling into a state. So watch your thoughts, watch your reactions, watch what you do throughout the day and how it makes you feel. I know we like to enjoy what we like to enjoy, but at least be aware and keep it in balance. Or at the least, make sure you go to bed with the mood you want to realize in your life. And for many, even waking and revisiting that mood, or poignant times throughout the day, even for a couple seconds. So Neville teaches you not only to dream nobly, but even the seeming impossible. By feeling its reality, you start to set things in motion. And as you do this, what once may have started as shadowy, you start to wear the feeling like a suit of clothing. And from his experience, and from the experience of hundreds and hundreds of his students, do that, and in a way no one knows, your desire will appear as an eruption of your continuous thought. Neville says, if you want to be known, get into the mood by feeling recognized as you move about. Then as the feeling becomes familiar, you will be amazed how things will reshuffle themselves, and you will get the publicity you desire. It may not be very flattering, but if you really want to be known, you will be. Neville also shares an experience when he was in New York City, and a woman had come to see him about her stomach problems. And while together, they talked of higher things and went into the silence. And when the woman went home, she ended up stopping at her favorite German restaurant, and she was able to eat all the things that she hadn't been able to eat for years, with no ill effect. What did Neville do? He simply got the lady to move from the state that had the bad stomach. So leave all the states that you no longer want, and move into the states that you do want. And as Neville teaches it, this room has reality and substance because you are thinking from it. Think of a room, however, and it's but a shadow. Think of a state, and it seems a mere possibility. But enter it by thinking from the state, and it is the only reality. Blake said, if the spectator could only enter into the image in his imagination, if he could make a friend and companion of his image, he would rise from the grave and meet the Lord in the heavens. Now, buried in a state, you are a spectator of other states. So don't stay in a state you don't like and perpetuating it by just complaining about it. Move into another state, by using your imagination and feeling, daring to feel, and disciplining yourself to persist. But don't force it. Let it be natural, like the daydreams you have throughout the day, but intentional daydreams. In closing, Neville says, "One day you will leave this play, knowing you are God the Father who conceived it all. Beginning as the one God, we fell as the gods. But we will return to the one God, for it takes all of us to form the Lord. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord." Take the challenge of Scripture and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not only for yourself, but for your family and friends. For when you imagine for another, you are really giving it to yourself, as there is no other. The whole vast world is only yourself pushed out. Now take something you want and ask yourself, how would it feel? And go deeper. What would you see, hear, touch, taste, and smell? Fall under your spell of an intentional daydream, so deep you forget the room you're in right now. And with that, let us go into the silence. Good, muy bien.